Hello, all of you. Here we begin with first class of budgeting, and we will continue our 21 days strong you can do it mindset building challenge at the end of the class today. Budgeting is a very simple topic and repeatedly asked. One is cost sheet, one is EOQ, then we have the reconciliation, and then budgeting. But I don't know why this is a trend. By the time we end marginal costing and come to standard costing and budgeting, many of the students are vanished, thinking कि ये दो last के chapter नहीं भी किए तो चलता. You are missing on the fun. Literally, I'm saying, if you have watched my DT IDT classes, my funda is one concept, one problem, one concept, and then so there's a different way of studying taxation, costing. If you talk about process costing, I always say the style of process costing is calculation. If you talk about budgeting, it's like a popcorn topic again. Just in simple flow, you have to prepare the budget. But, excuse me, something very easy, you have to be very careful. Lot of chances of doing silly mistake. How? I'll make it clear as we move forward. We will divide the budgeting class into two parts. Today, we will take the types of budgets and question answer. CMA exam, every CMA exam, they are asking flexible budget. CA exam, purchase budget, flexible budget. Somehow they are asking. One or two problems of flexible budget, if I take now, you will say, ma'am, same we have done in overhead. Same we have done in job cost sheet. Same we have done in original cost sheet. Your original cost sheet is also budget. No, if you know per unit, ma'am, can we make a cost sheet of 5,000 units? Okay, now can we make a cost sheet of 25,000 units? Yes. So if the fundas are clear, 7 out of 7 marks. See, some topics are no one can generally aim for good marks, but this is pretty simple. So let us take up all the types of the budgets one by one, all the questions. Tomorrow we will be doing some part of theory. Now whether you like it or you don't like it, zero-based budgeting, performance budgeting. These are the topics on which they are asking you short note. Have you seen the latest exam? Koi bhi le lo. CA CMA, I take care of both study material, both exam papers, so don't worry. But they are asking. So there's some trick to answer and get 5 marks that we will do tomorrow. And compiler 2, hope you all are having printout. Budgeting, I want to do the question of the compiler all 2 also in the class. Compiler 2 is all past exam papers of CA and CM. Okay, right. Now, in a layman's term, what do you mean by budget? What is budget? We have our finance budget always in the month of February. This time we didn't have by the finance minister because of the 5 years election. So now it's going to come next month, right? Next month, this month, आएगा, ठीक है. But that is the finance budget of the country. Budget, what do you mean by budget? It is a planning. Now what planning? Planning of the all financials of the company in the money terms. Okay, so you want to plan the budget. There's a strategy or a link how you have to start. In exam also you can start like this. But one thing is in budgeting, be very careful because all 2-3 budgets what they ask for 7 to 10 marks, they are all linked. So one second, I'm switching on the files. So one budget goes wrong and it goes wrong all, है ना? तो अगर ऐसा नहीं होना है, तो let us see. What do you mean by budget is clear? It's a plan. You need to forecast. Okay, next month, how much sale I will do? For that, how many units I'll produce? Okay, to produce this, how much raw material is required? How much labor is required? How much machine hours is required? Okay, for this sales and production, how much money is required? Cash budget. Okay, if I sell this much, how much I'll earn? Marginal costing. If they know the sales, desired profit. If you know the profit, desired sales. So this is planning. Ma'am, can we make budget for one full financial year? Yes. Can you make it 6 monthly? Yes. Can you make it quarterly? Yes. Can you make it monthly? Yes. The facts are, you should know that behavior of all the expense what is taught to you in cost sheet. Variable cost is fixed per unit. Fixed cost is total constant in total. So variable and fixed cost is constant in total. And semi-variable overhead is having both the element. Semi-variable overhead में fixed overhead भी है, variable भी है. So if there's a change in the semi-variable overhead, it's only because of the variable element. Because if instead of 30,000, now you're making 35,000 units. And if semi-variable overhead is also changing, it's because only of the variable element. Fixed cost to constant hai. Right. Other than this, so many chapters earlier we have studied, nothing given. Can I take factory overhead as a percentage of direct labor? Your admin and all selling overhead as a percentage of works cost or cost of production, they'll give, and you have to take it. So very pretty simple it is. Most important, I'm going to teach you the purchase budget, the sale budget, the cash budget. सब पढ़ाएंगे, but सबसे important है flexible budget. थोड़ी देर बात करेंगे flexible budget. Okay? Yeah. Hope you have solved all the problems of marginal costing. हाँ? Compiler. Class में तो मैंने पूरे problem आपको करवाए थे. Yeah. What I want to say is budget is a planning. Then you have different terms here, budgeting and budgetary control. हम थोड़ी देर बाद देखेंगे. Okay? Right. Now we have various kind of the budget. The long-term budget and short-term budgets and all. Most important from learning point of view, which are actually very important, are functional budgets of the company, and it should go on in a sequence. Starts with your sale budget. Okay, I have 3 products. Next month, how much product I want to sell, A, B or C. Based on this, can we make a production? Nothing to write. I'll make you write some booster notes बाद में. ये लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है. This I am teaching you the direction. How when you say to the cab wala, take me from A to B, he'll say this road से जाना है, इस road से चलो. Then go as per the Google map. So I'm giving you the Google map. So if you have decided ki A, B, C, 3 products are there, or forget it, 1 product, April, May, June. How much you are going to sell? Based on that, can we make a production budget? In production budget, we know how much we are going to sell. We know the closing stock. कैसे पता चलेगा closing stock? They'll give closing stock in April should be 20% of the sales of May month. Like we speak Gujarati and Telugu, this is the language of budgeting. So coming 10 minutes, be focused so that you do the calculations and everything will be clear. Sales, add closing stock. Okay, I'll write it vertically better. How do you get, ma'am, closing stock? Closing stock कैसे मिलेगा बेटा? Closing stock is, suppose May month का जो sale है, of that 20% you keep it now. Same way opening stock they'll give. You will get production. Production in units. How many units you have to produce to fulfill your sales target. Now based on the production, इसको 5-star खिलाओ, KitKat खिलाओ, सब खिला दो. Production goes wrong and the whole problem goes wrong. If it goes right, in a flow you will do problem. Now, based on production, can I do my raw material usage budget? What do you mean by? If it is 60-70% clear what I am doing now, it's fine. I'm giving you a broad mind map so that when we solve the problem, अभी तो दीप्ति मैम पुश कर रहे हैं, इसके बाद क्या करना है, इसके बाद एग्जाम में कौन करेगा? So what do you mean by raw material usage budget? 1 unit requires 10 kgs. I want to produce 50,000 units. Just imagine. So 5 lakh kg raw material is required. 5 lakh kg raw material तो use करके खत्म हो जाएगा. This is raw material usage budget. I told you not to write, but I think it's a good knowledge. You all should write. Write down. Write down sales budget, target sales. Your pen will flow. You will never complain in final exam कि मैम मेरा पेपर खत्म नहीं हुआ. लिखो बेटा, आई एम वेटिंग. फिर साथ साथ में करेंगे. In spite of confirming with everyone, so many of them are missing today. The only reason of shifting the class was this. Okay, understand and write. Start with sales budget, production budget. This you can twist and turn. There's a different way. Abhi to production mila. You can get sales also. Opening stock plus what you produce minus the closing stock will give you number of units sold. Rubik की तरह पूरा घुमा लो. Any other you have in your mindset. Call this as booster notes and I want all of you to write this. Okay, for this much production, how much raw material is used? 1 unit requires say 10 kgs, 50,000. Okay, digest and go. 1 unit can require raw material P 0.5 kg, raw material R 1 kg. Is it okay? एक यूनिट बनाने के लिए 2 टाइप के रॉ मटेरियल लग सकते हैं. Just I'm as if giving you overview of all the kind of papers that can come. Chalo. Next is raw material purchase budget. Can you all put message? Are you clear until now and finish writing also? Raw material purchase budget. Okay. How much raw material is used? That is from the third. Plus some raw material should be there in the closing stock also. Minus some is already there in the opening stock also. So this is how raw material purchase budget you will prepare in units. For sure you are understanding. Talk to yourself. Your pen will flow in the budgeting. Raw material usage. Okay, इतना 5 lakh kg तो use हो गया. 1 lakh kg तो I should have in stock. I need 6 lakh. Out of that 50,000 was already there. So I need to purchase 5 lakh 50,000. 5 lakh 50,000. Now fifth one. Raw material purchase budget. And ma'am आपने बना लिया ना. This is in units. This is in rupees. ऐसे भी साइन कर सकते हैं ना. कैसे करते हैं पता नहीं. सीखना है. Raw material in rupees. We know that this much raw material we have to purchase. So raw material units purchased into rate. Now they will give an exam that 60% material you are buying in April and 30% in May and 10% in June. Okay. Okay. As they give, so we do. Very different way. You may be like surprised कि मैम ये क्या कर रहे हैं. 10 मिनट हो गए अभी तक प्रॉब्लम शुरू नहीं किया. थ्योरी करेंगे बाद में करेंगे थोड़ा. See, I told you किसको किटकैट खिलाओ. Production budget. Based on production, you made raw material budget. Based on production, can you make your labor required budget? How will you make your labor required budget? Until now, everything is clear. We have studied in a very different way today. When you use this and perform, no, you will be very clear. Sales budget, production budget. Did you observe one thing? Every budget is dependent on the other thing. हर budget एक दूसरे के ऊपर depend है. Now how much is labor is required? Say we will take skilled workers. Skilled workers. 1 unit, 2 hours. एक यूनिट को बनाने 2 घंटे लगते हैं. तो हमारा प्रोडक्शन कितना है? देखो 50,000 units. Just 50,000 units. How many hours are required? 1 lakh. Are you all with me? Skilled workers, 1 lakh. 1 unit, 2 hours are required. 50 units you are going to make. कहाँ से पता चला 50 units? Production budget. So 1 lakh hours are required. Each worker, I am feeling जैसे operating costing में कैसे open knowledge है, वैसा open knowledge है. Each worker is working for 200 hours. आपको एग्जाम में दिया है कि हर वर्कर 200 आवर्स काम करता है. नंबर ऑफ स्किल्ड वर्कर रिक्वायर्ड. नंबर ऑफ स्किल वर्कर रिक्वायर्ड. करो कितना आ रहा है. प्लीज कैलकुलेट. डोंट वेट. कैन लुक एट द स्क्रीन एंड बाइट योर नेल्स. दीप्ति मैम तो करेंगे ही ना. हम बैठ के लिखेंगे. एग्जाम में कौन लिखाएगा? 500. 500 skilled workers I need in the month of April to complete my production target so as to complete my sales target. As good as we have solved a problem. 500 workers. यहाँ पे लिखो number of workers. This will give you number of workers. Same way, this is 6A. Can we have unskilled workers also? In case like 2 kind of workers are required. 1 unit के लिए half an hour unskilled worker is also going to do the finishing polishing work. So 50,000 units के लिए कितने घंटे काम करना पड़ेगा? एक यूनिट को half an hour. So 50,000 units into 0.5. 25,000 hours. And then number of unskilled worker. Because unskilled worker are also working for 200 hours. 25,000 घंटे काम करवाना है and 200 hours. So we will need 125 unskilled workers. This is your labor budget का 5 marks problem done. Done. Write the example, write the steps, and dare you ask me, ma'am, give the format. Format जहाँ देना था वहाँ दे दी. Learn भी करा दिए. कहाँ दिए बेटा आपको format? Cost sheet. Here तो you all have to study logically. It's a super logical chapter. Simple. Now we know labor required. Now can we make labor required budget in rupees? These are the number of workers. Okay. Now, skilled workers. How many skilled workers are required? 500. And to each one we are paying 10,000 per month. This is all per month we are doing. Just random figures I am taking. मैम 500 into 10,000 भी कैलकुलेटर में कर रहे हैं. हाँ बिल्कुल कर रहे हैं ना. फिर जीरोस के साथ कौन रिस्क लेगा? कैलकुलेटर्स आर अलाउड इन एग्जाम. Unskilled workers, how many are required? 125. They are paid 6,000 each per month. 125 into 6,000. As you all will get your degree, can I also become a very good author? I can convert one problem into 5 problem and give you for practice. That's how I made the DT compiler also. Lot of practice problems. Labor required in rupees over and out. हो गया अच्छे से. Next, what is required now? Material, labor, and next required is what? Overhead budget. Overhead में different kind of overhead will be there, variable, fixed, or they can give you factory overhead and all. So like that, different kind of the work labor they can give you. Oh, I have missed printing the booster notes and budgeting. Is it good that we wrote it? I thought they are printed also, but they are missed. Let me write it. The next batch should get printed also and written also. These are called booster notes. One day before exam, if you revise all the formats, all the booster notes, it will be very clear to you. Chalo. Labor require. Anyone is having any doubt until now, please ask. Next is overhead budget. Overhead budget is very simple. Overhead is given 10 per unit. And number of units. कितने units बना रहे इस साल आप? 50,000. So it will be 5 lakh. Just simple. Per unit they will give multiply and you get it. If it is fixed, they'll give total. Then you also have plant utilization budget. You know how many machine hours are required? Plant utilization budget. One unit requires 3 machine hours. Just random example. Machine का भी तो काम होता है ना. So one unit requires 3 machine hours. We are going to make 50,000 units. How many machine hours are required? 1,50,000 machine hours. And plant utilization overhead is, say, 1,50,000 machine hours into 1 per hour. Just assume that the rate is 1 per hour. 1 unit requires 3 hours. I'm repeating. So 50,000 will require how much? Cross multiplication is your best friend. Yes? Yeah. And 150 into 1. 1,50,000. Last now, so many times asked in exam is cash budget. You have prepared sales. You have prepared, shall we see ऊपर से आ जाओ एक बार देख लो. Production, फिर raw material usage, फिर आपने क्या बनाया? Raw material purchase in units, फिर raw material rupees, labor required, फिर labor required in rupees. Next is overhead budget per unit. Plant utilization may be there or may not be there. And last one is the cash budget. Are you okay in drawing all this? Shall we make the format of cash budget? We are going to do nice problems for the cash budget, but shall we draw the format? Cash budget की बाजू में अच्छी सी tagline लगाओ. Like cash account. Or like you all have studied non-trading, receipt and payment account opening, all the receipts. Why I'm saying non-trading or the cash account? Because you should know. आ जाओ पैसे आ रहे हैं ना, आ जाओ. Cash sales, collection from data, machinery sold. Ma'am, machinery sold is a capital receipt and collection from data is revenue. Wages paid, revenue expense. Plant and machinery purchased, capital. कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. यार ऐसा लग रहा है फाउंडेशन के क्लास में चले गए. single column cash book, double column cash book, triple column cash book, है ना? So how will you prepare cash budget? Opening balance. Add collection from data. Superb. This alone can be asked for 5 marks और choice में छोड़ना मत. दीप्ति मैम ने process costing 3 दिन पढ़ाया. Then I said, if you are not getting enough time, you can leave that because there are more calculations. ये तो free के marks है. Collection from data only can be asked for 5 marks. Then you have cash sales. Then you have cash means includes bank. Cash received from asset, plant and machinery, furniture sold. Old furniture you have sold online, so you got some money. Yeah. That's all. We will put a total. And now minus payments. Payment में first thing is payment to creditors. जिससे आप खरीद रहे हो. How much you are purchasing will go in the income statement. How much you are making payment. Cash purchases. Payment to creditors. Cash purchases. और क्या करेंगे? Cash expenses. Now in cash expenses, listen all of you. So many times they give rent advance paid for 12 months. So take it for 12 months. Don't divide by 12. That's a silly mistake. पैसे तो चले गए ना. 12 महीने का एडवांस दे दिया 1200 रुपए. Money gone is gone. So cash expenses. Then cash paid for asset purchased. What kind of asset purchase? Maybe plant and machinery, maybe furniture purchased. You will get the closing balance. Note, if closing balance is negative, loss, it's not loss. If closing balance is negative, it represents बैंक ओवरड्राफ्ट. मैम पक्का कॉस्टिंग ही पढ़ा रहे हैं ना? बिल्कुल कॉस्टिंग पढ़ा रहे हैं. बट आई हैव लिंक्ड सो मच विद अकाउंट्स. If you preserve this format and do 4 to 5 good problems with me, sorted for budgeting. My teaching is not कि बस करते जाओ करते जाओ करते जाओ. पहले समझ के तो करो. I want all of you to unmute or put it in chat box if you have doubt anywhere in any 10 kind of budgets I taught you. One more booster note is there. All clear? Cash account.
Yes, ma'am.
12th. Collection from data. I told you, no, they are asking for some 5 marks. Just an example I want to give. April, May, June. आप लोग सब मेरे साथ लिखो. April, May, June. February and March is extra information, but we are making for April, May, June. Let us take sales as 10,000, 12,000, 14,000, 15,000, 16,000. Random. I'm just creating problem on my own now. Chalo. Write down sales. Anyone not able to copy? My writing may not be very clear, then listen and write. Be more attentive in Dipti ma'am's class. क्योंकि एक बार दीप्ति मैम पूरा स्क्रीन भर लेंगे तो आप लिख नहीं पाएंगे. Preferably, if you can watch full screen, it will be very good. This material is there in the Telegram. February, March, April, May, June. This is given. Now they said 80% collected in same month. ऐसे कंपनी की पॉलिसी है. कंपनी की पॉलिसी है that 80% is collected in same month. Okay. Can we go ahead? 14,000 का 80%. एटी परसेंट कितना आता है 11,200. 15,000 का 80%. 12,000. 16,000 जून का 80%. This is collect as it is. 10% in next month. Okay. April 14,000 का 10%. 1,400 यहाँ. 1,500 यहाँ. February का 10%. 1,200. How is my language? Is it clear to all of you? You must not have studied earlier ना. मैम क्वेश्चन भी तभी क्रिएट कर रहे हैं, क्वेश्चन लिखा भी नहीं रहे और सीधा आंसर में करा दे रहे हैं. लिखो. I'll solve 2 good problems and it will be clear to all of you. 80% collected in same month. 10% collected next. तो मार्च का 10% ईयर, अप्रैल का ईयर, मई का ईयर. मैम जून का 10%. I don't want to do extra. They've asked me 3 months. I'll do 3 months. 5% in second next month. Second next month. मतलब February का 5%. 5% comes to 500 here. 1,200 का आधा 600 रुपए यहाँ. 14,000 का 5%. 700 here. And 5% is bed debt. Now my question to all of you. Shall I write 5%? दीप्ति मैम सब नहीं पढ़ाते ना. पेन नीचे रख दिया, क्लास रुक गया. 5% is bed debt. I hope all of you know what is bed debt. So my question to all of you, shall I write the next 5%? Any reply you can give. See, when I'm asking you, I'm willing to think. मतलब आप थोड़ा और deep सोचें. उसके लिए पूछ रही हूँ. Not to test your knowledge. I know you all have come to study costing with me. This flow will take you to a very nice way of learning. कोई तो बचाओ क्लास को. दीप्ति मैम की तो पेन ही रुक गई. Yeah, some answers have come in the chat box. What? Shall I write the 5% here? Yes or no? Answer is no. Why I should not write 5% is bed debt? What we are seeing collection. Listen, you are my data. Okay. I have sold you the goods of 12,000. 14,000. 14,000 का 80% अभी आ गया. 10% next month. 5% next. Remaining 5%, are you going to pay in July? No. That's a bed debt. पैसे डूब गए. तो जो आने नहीं वाला उसको collection में क्यों लेना है? The amount which is not going to come, you should not write. Finally, what is the collection from data's total up? 12,900. 14,000. 12,800 plus 1,500 plus 700, 1,500. This is one of the best example I can give. Now instead of 80, they can give you 70, 20, 30, whatever it is. Any doubt you have, ask, because when I'm going to dive into problem, my reading will be analytical. The way student think, that's the way I will read and interpret for all of you. That time ये छोटे छोटे लॉजिक्स नहीं पढ़ेंगे, ये तो अभी क्लियर हो गए हैं. कैश बजट तक हम शायद ही पहुंचेंगे because we have to do flexible budget also, but this is it. Tomorrow also we are doing budgeting, more problems, more theory. If it is all clear, I want all of you to open your compiler. Some theories there on the initial pages. Leave it. Directly come to problem number 3. All clear? Yeah, chalo. Thank you. आ जाओ मैम. सीधा प्रॉब्लम नंबर 3 है. 1 या 2 होमवर्क है. डरो मत. 1 and 2 both I will solve. Some way, some tricks are there. That's why. If you think यहाँ दीप्ति मैम का हम बस कंपाइलर ले लेंगे, खुद से पढ़ेंगे, नहीं पढ़ पाओगे. All my explanation needs to set in. So there are 4 quarters. Yeah. Thank you. All clear, all clear. That is good. आ जाओ. Marginal costing was also very nice. Standard costing is थोड़ा सा अलग. Contract costing I'll take only for the CMA students. CA students don't have contract costing. So after the completion of the whole syllabus, last I'll divide ABC costing for CA students, contract for CMA. पूरा एक एक चीज करेंगे अच्छे से. जो आपके लिए important है वो सब करेंगे. Yeah, I'm right now doing problem number 33333. Yeah. A single product company estimates sales in units. I told you have to start from which budget? Sale budget. वहां से next station कौन सा है? Production budget. Production से next station, like that. Opening stock of finished goods is 10,000 and company expects to maintain a closing stock at the end. The production pattern in each quarter is 80% of the sale this time. 20% अगले महीने का अभी कर लो, फिर अगले महीने, like that. Raw material opening stock is also given closing. Each unit, finished units require 2 kg of raw material. All right. And they are going to purchase the raw material into 3 quarters, 30% and at this rate. Value of opening stock of raw material is given. Present following budgets you have to make. First, you have to make production budget. What is the hilltop of the budgeting? Your sales. From your sales, make the production budget, recheck, because production goes wrong and all the other things goes wrong. Huh? Raw material consumption budget, raw material purchase budget, और ये कुछ नया है. We have studied in the material chapter, but जिसने नहीं भी पढ़ा है, they will also follow. I'll explain from the scratch, so don't worry. This problem is for 10 marks, not 7 marks. 7 marks, usually they ask any 2 types of the budgets. Okay? Of course, we are doing all the problems in the notebook. First, second भी मैं करूँगी, homework नहीं है. Right now, third problem. Yeah. Problem number 3 in your notebook. We are preparing the production budget. There's a small printing mistake in the problem number 3 first answer. Now I'm doing correct so that you can correct it yourself. Production budget. Okay. Production budget. Particulars and 4 quarters. 4 quarters are there, right? First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter. So what is given to you in the first line of the problem? क्या बोला है आपको? सेल्स दे दिया है. दिस इज ऑल इन यूनिट्स. प्रोडक्शन बजट इज एनी हाउ इन यूनिट्स, है ना. तो आपको सेल्स दे दिया है. कितना दिया है? 30,000, 37,500, 41,250, 45,000. These are the number of units you are going to sell. Okay. Now, something is going to be there in the closing stock also. Closing stock में भी कुछ ना कुछ रहेगा. Now you can do a subtotal, but if you don't want directly, you can do opening stock. Do you remember I have made you learn this format? हाँ, याद है सबको? Sale, इतना तो sale हो गया. Add the closing stock. So total this much should have been there. Itna sale, itna closing stock. Out of this opening, if you reduce what you get, you call it as your production. You call it as your production. चलो, production में take 2 lines. What did they say? Opening stock of the finished goods is 10,000. Okay. Closing stock here in the last quarter is 16,250 given. Now, the production pattern is 80% of the sales, 80% of 30,000, 24,000, and 20% of the next month, 37,500 का 20%. इतना तो यहाँ रहेगा, 7,500. So what is the total production? Understand and do. You can do little different format. Ma'am suggested answer से मेरा format अलग था. It's okay, but it should be there in the answer sheet. No, I assume this, I calculated. You are not going to submit your calculator there. So what's your total production? 31,500. Same way, can we get all the 4 production? Second quarter में 37,500 का 80%, 30,000 अभी प्रोड्यूस करो. 41,250 का 20%, 8,250. So 38,250. 41. Yeah, continue doing. Don't copy from the screen. Ask me, मैम ये फिगर कैसे आया, नहीं समझा तो बार बार पूछो. Then you will become independent problem solver in exam. 41,250 का 80% now. 20% तो पहले ही हो गया. And 45,000 का 20%, 9,000. So this is 42,000. 45,000 का 80%, 36,000. Okay. Did you feel so much is incomplete here? Can we complete it? Yes. Closing stock we can write here as balancing figure and put it in bracket. How many units opening was there? 10,000. How many units you have produced? 31,500. 10,000 was opening stock. If you want, I am writing here. Working. 31,500 और produce किए. कितने हो गए? 41,500. Out of that 30,000 bye sold. So what's your closing stock? 11,500. Next month it will become opening. 11,500. Nice. Again, 11,500 are there. Plus 38,250 minus 37,500. 12,250. 12,250 plus 42,000 minus 41,250. 13,000. 13 आ जाओ यहाँ. I hope you are getting what? So arrow mark. थर्ड का जो क्लोजिंग है वो फोर्थ के लिए क्या हो जाएगा? ओपनिंग. अब यहाँ पे उल्टा कैलकुलेशन है. 45,000 you have sold plus 16,250 is in stock minus 13,000. So total produced is 48,250 and please put in bracket the balancing figure. That's 12,250. 12,250. There was a shortcut to this also as they have given in your textbook. ये total production अलग निकाल लो और फिर उसको लिख लो. बिल्कुल वैसे भी कर सकते हैं. ये थोड़ा लॉन्ग है बट ट्विस्ट के साथ है. Anyone is having any doubt? See, the next things are linked बेटा. अभी हम जो नेक्स्ट बनाएंगे ना वो लिंक है इसके साथ. तो अगर इसी में कहीं पे डाउट है तो पूछो. You got your production budget? That was the first thing they have asked. Now, according to the production, this is the first thing they have asked. Can we prepare the raw material consumption budget? Raw material consumption budget. बिल्कुल वैसे ही same. अच्छा, please remember once you get production, number of units produced is your base for all the other budgets. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. Number of units produced. 31,500, 38,250, 42,000 and 48,250. These are the number of units produced. Now please read on the top they have given each unit of the finished goods required 2 kg of raw material. 2 kg raw material required per unit. 2 kg. I told you raw material usage budget उसी का नाम है consumption budget. 31,500 units बनाना है. एक यूनिट को 2 किलो. So raw material required in kgs 63,000. 38,250 into 2. 76,500. 84,000. 48,250 into 2. 96,500. Done. How much is total raw material consumed each quarter? Third, they have given purchase in quantity and in value. So can we do it together? I mean, say for all the 4 quarters, what will be the raw material purchase budget? Are you all calculating with me? Sure? Easy है एकदम. कितना कंज्यूम हो गया है उसका पहले टोटल करना पड़ेगा. रॉ मटेरियल परचेज बजट. How much is raw material consumed in a year? पूरे साल में कितना रॉ मटेरियल कंज्यूम्ड है? 63,000 प्लस 76,500 प्लस 84,000 प्लस 96,500. 3,20,000 is the raw material consumed. There has to be some closing stock of raw material, obviously. Raw material opening is 10,000, closing is 5,000. Great. Minus opening stock of raw material. कितना है? 10,000. Whenever it is minus, put it in bracket. So what's the raw material purchase in kgs? कितना raw material आप खरीदोगे? 3,15,000 kgs. Same they have asked now in rupees. Exactly same problem can come for 10 marks. Raw material purchase budget in rupees. Now for purchase, they have clearly said in the question that the whole purchases is done in 3 quarters at what rate. So according to that, we can decide. First quarter. First quarter, how much you have purchased? Total purchase करना है 3,15,000. इसका 60%. Sorry, 30%. You will purchase now. And at what rate? 2. 2. You can write it separate कि 30% कितना kg होगा and all. Or we can write it together. 3,15,000 kg is required whole year. 30%. 1,89,000. Second quarter. 3,15,000. उसका कितना? 50%. And the rate is increased. 3. 3,15,000 का 50% into 3. 472,500 memory में. Third quarter. 3,15,000 का 20%. वो भी 4 के रेट से. 3,15,000 का 20%. वो भी 4 के रेट से. 2,52,000. So total purchase in rupees is 9,13,500. Total purchase value rupees. 3,15,000 kg of raw material you are purchasing in different quarters at different rate. Fourth wala hai, once only they have asked. It's not solved here, but I want to solve it. अच्छा है, पहले यहां तक बोलो कोई डाउट है? Fourth one will take little stores ledger का practice. Yeah. Anyone is having any doubt? See, I want you all to get the flow of the problem. I started with sales and I got production. From the production, I got how much raw material kgs are consumed. From the consumption at closing opening, I got purchase and then total purchase value. Nice. Chalo. Now what they have asked is extra once asked, but of course in your syllabus it is there. Prepare the stores ledger based on first in first out. थोड़ा सा time लगेगा. मैम इतना सारा आएगा. Maybe only this is asked. This can be asked in EOQ problem. This can be asked in cost sheet. This can, so we will do only in one problem for practice. Stores ledger we are making FIFO. Now those who have not studied material and don't know anything about FIFO, write down the heading and listen to me. FIFO, we go to the supermarkets. Okay, it's a very practical example. You go to supermarket to get a sandwich bread and you pick up the front one. Say today is 2nd of July, there will be expiry date before 7th. You don't know, you may require bread for 1 week. वैसे नहीं खाना चाहिए. So now if you put your hand inside and take the inner one, it will be the latest fresh ones. Are you getting what I'm saying? पीछे से ब्रेड का पैकेट निकालेंगे तो क्या लिखा होगा पता है? Expire before 10th of July. This one was expired before 7th. So the logic is practically whatever comes in first should go out first, because the expiry date is reaching soon, be it food items or medicines or cosmetics or anything. Pickles, we buy pickles round the year. Do you think in the April month you will get fresh April pickles in the store? घर पे मम्मी बनाएगी तो मिलेगा, fresh मिलेगा, बहुत fresh. But otherwise, those who are doing the business of that, last year's whatever is left, they'll sell first, then this year's. So the first in, first out is a concept in the storeroom. Okay, put inside or put inside. Whenever you have to take out, पहले कौन आया था, तुम जाओ, फिर कौन, how we stand in the queue ना, जो पहले आया उसको पहले जाने दो. You'll have watched that movie, Akshay Kumar's movie. It was in the mines, coal mines they were working. Mission Raniganj. So there were 60 workers stuck up and that lift could take only one person at a time. He said, okay, one by one we'll go. Let us take out chits and give the numbering. Whoever's number is first, go. Second, go. Third. Like that. So in this way, can we prepare stores ledger? Yes. Please keep patience की मैम आप एक एक प्रॉब्लम को इतने देर कराएंगे, एक प्रॉब्लम कर लो stores ledger से, you are sorted. LIFO you don't have, weightage average we have done in the stores ledger. ठीक है? चलो. Anyone is having any doubt, don't worry, that recording is going on. Type करके भेजो, chat box भी on है, or you can unmute and ask me if you have any doubt. No doubt means right after this problem I'll give you a break of 2-3 minutes. आज थोड़ा अच्छे और 2-3 problem कर लें. Yeah. Let us take the stores ledger part of this. Which method? First in, first out. अब stores ledger के लिए scaling करना पड़ेगा, हाथ से करेंगे तो अच्छा नहीं आएगा. This side we'll write the quarter. Okay. And then receipt, issue and closing. Opening also they have prepared, but nahi bhi kiye to chalega. You can do 3 columns. Receipt, issue and balance. And in every one again a triple column inside. What is a triple column inside? Quantity, that is kg, rate, amount. Quantity, rate, amount. Quantity, rate, amount. Quantity, rate, amount. ऐसे ऐसे कॉलम तो नहीं गिन रहे ना, अरे बना लो particulars and three columns. Receipt, issue, balance. Inside each column again 3 sub columns. आ जाओ. First quarter, was there some raw material already in stock? Yes. Closing was to 5,000. Raw material, your raw material quantity wala budget 10,000 kg था ना, 10,000 kg was there. At the first rate, 10,000 kg was there at 20,000. Now in the first quarter, how much did you receive? Dear student, receipt is purchases. यहाँ से. Oh, I didn't write the quantity, na. 3,15,000 का 30%, 94,500, ये रेडी करके रख लो. 3,15,000 इन मेमोरी, उसका 50%, मतलब दिस इज द क्वांटिटी परचेस्ड. Done. So 10,000 units were already there in stock. Anyone is having any doubt? 10,000 raw material was there in stock. Now 94,500 received at 2 rupees. 1,89,000. Literally you have to copy from up. ये रहा, यहाँ पे स्टार बनाओ, यहाँ पे स्टार बनाओ. अभी फर्स्ट क्वार्टर में बाय बाय. व्हाट इज बाय बाय इशू? कितना रॉ मटेरियल रिक्वायर्ड है? हाउ मच रॉ मटेरियल इज रिक्वायर्ड? यहां से मिलेगा. How much raw material is required? 63,000. I am taking little bigger problem. Out of this, any two parts they can ask. 63,000 by 2 rupees के रेट से. Opening stock at 2, purchase at 2. So 63,000 into 2, 126 by. Now how much is in stock? 10,000 is to gone. Out of 94,500, 53,000 units. 94,500 में से 53,000 units. Got it? Why 53? Because 10,000 तो opening चला गया. So what is the balance? 41,500 into 2. 41,500 into 2. 83,000. Anyone is having any doubt in the first column itself? 94,500 into 2, 189 received. This is issued. Yeah? Right. And balance. Leave one line. Come in quarter 2. Quarter 2 में आ जाओ. How much is received? अच्छा, बैलेंस में अमाउंट कैसे आया ये देखो बेटा. 10,000 थे और कितने आए? 94,500. पहले क्वांटिटी मिला लो. तो कैलकुलेटर लो, मैं आपके लिए कर रही हूँ. 10,000 में ऐड क्वांटिटी रिसीव्ड 94,500 माइनस 63,000 गए बाय बाय 41,500 into 2 quantity into rate is amount. Now is it clear? Thank you so much for asking. Don't copy. Students hesitate to ask and they keep on copying. क्यों? You have your right to ask. If it is a very irrelevant question, as a teacher, we know how to stop. Done. I want all of you to leave one line so that वो hodgepodge ना दिखे. आ जाओ. सेकेंड क्वार्टर में कितना खरीदे? 157,500. 157,500 you have purchased. This time you have purchased at 3. 157 at 3, 472,500. आ रहा है सबको? इसको टिक, इसको टिक. एग्जाम में ऐसे मत करना, वैल्यूर को समझाना नहीं है, ये फॉर योर अंडरस्टैंडिंग. ओके स्वप्निल, आई विल रिपीट 2 minutes, check with me, no problem. See, 10,000 units opening raw material was there at 2 rupees balance. I could have made one fourth column for opening stock also. I don't want to waste the time of the students. This is the balance. Now in the first quarter, already from purchase budget, we have ready 94,500 units into 2 you have purchased. Copy from here. Okay. After the purchase you have issued. Ma'am, issue का figure किधर से मिलेगा? From where you will get? Issue figure you will get from the raw material consumption. How many units are consumed, issued, usage? All three names same. Bye bye. How many units? 63,000. Okay, आ गया. Ma'am, 63,000 units, what rate I should issue? First, what has come? 10,000 units at 2. Yeah. And out of 9,400 also, 53,000 at 2. So like that you issue 63,000 and this is your closing balance. Closing balance कैसे आया? 10,000 plus 9,400 minus 63. It's all at 2. Abhi the googly will start. Store's ledger is only rarely asked, but asked, of course. So 157,500 units we have purchased in quarter 2. कहाँ से मिला? यहाँ से मिला. अब इशू कितना किए quarter 2 में? आ जाओ. ये रहा. 76,500 units issued. जो पहले आया उसको पहले भेजो. 41,500 into 283,000 you go first. Are you getting? In quarter 2 you had already 41,500 into 2. Bye. Remaining, how many units you have to issue? Check. 76,500. If you want, you can write it down here. 76,500 units issue करना था. 41,500 तो पहले ही आ गए. 76,500 minus 41,500. 35,000 units. Into 3. 35,000 units into 3. 1,05,000. Now what will be the balance? Anyone in the class who's not getting the answer? Working note 1. I'm writing here working note 1. जितने working note बनाने हैं बाद में भी struggle नहीं होना चाहिए. Working note 2. How will we get balance? 157,500 units are purchased. Out of that 35 units bye. Opening चले गए, इस बार और चले गए. तो 157 जो इन आया था receipt, out of that 35,000 bye. So 1,05,000 units are there. No, sorry, 157,500 minus 35,000 units gone. 122,500. I could have done simple problem. Flexible budget ke problem, what we will do tomorrow is very simple, but is this clear or not? 122,500 into 3. Leave the line, write the working so that you don't struggle in the second revision. I want all of you to write here working note 2. Now come in the third quarter. Oh, more purchase. Copy from up. 63,000 into 4. क्या रेट से खरीदे? 4. 2,52,000. How much I have to issue in the third quarter? Third quarter, 84,000. Working note 3. Issue. Pen is giving trouble. Issue in the third quarter. कितना इशू किए बेटा आपने? देखो तैयार है यहाँ. 84,000 units. Bye. 84,000 units should go. Already you have 1,22,000. 1,20,000. So first 1,22,000 you will issue, no? Then the current purchase. This is your current purchase. But this closing will become opening, no? So 84,000 units you issue at 3. 84,000 into 3. Anyone in the class who is confused? 84,000 into 3, third quarter. Now what's the balance? 122,500 units minus 84,000. is 38,500 units into 3. 38,500 units into 3. Say at every place, हर जगह पे अपने आप से बात करो, ओके ऐसा है, ये है, so that you get it very clear. Now comes fourth quarter. फोर्थ क्वार्टर में आ जाओ. ओ सॉरी, हाँ, थर्ड क्वार्टर में 122,500 में से 84,000 इशू कर दिए. अभी भी 38,500 यूनिट्स आर देयर एट 3 and 63,000 units are there at 4. Yeah, if there is no doubt, put all. Yeah, pay attention here, what you are not getting in homework, why the mind is wandering beta. This is also one thing for all of you student. अभी कोई और एग्जाम्पल देना ही नहीं है, T20 का ही ले लो. One of the player also said this, and actually every player, what they say in as a strategy of the mindset of a student, they said we knew we had these many overs and we have to make this run, but now this over, this run. So there is always one monkey mind which is trying to जो आपको डराने की कोशिश करता है. अरे लेबर में 24 फॉर्मूलाज है. किसने ऐसी अफवाह फैलाई है? लेबर हालसे को छोड़ के कुछ है ही नहीं. हाँ, right. So pay attention. This is the first class of budgeting. What homework I'll give you will surely get. And if this is the level of the problem, I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all problems in class. Promise कि इस बार compiler के problem भी class में करेंगे. लेकिन अभी ये समझो. चलो. Out of 122, 84 bye-bye, 38,500 remaining. 63 received as it is remaining. Come to quarter 4, no purchases. Ma'am, how did you come to know? Look at this. We have purchased in 1, 2, 3 quarters. Okay. Now in the fourth quarter, how much is issued? 96,500. 96,500 I have to issue. So 38,500 I will issue first. 38,500 at 3 bye. Now 96,000. I want all of you to write here working note 4. Working note 4. Quarter 4 issue 96,000. Out of that 38,500 तो पुराना था. अभी कितना इशू करूं? $38,500 तो we have issued. Yeah. One second, dear students. 96,500 I have to issue, huh? Not 96. One second. Sorry. 500 I missed out. Please change. Be careful. 96,500 I have to issue. Out of that, already 38,500 bye-bye. Old rate. Remaining 58,000 multiplied by 4. 2,32,000. 58 multiplied by 4, 2,32,000. Now, how much is closing balance? Bina calculator ke 5,000 into 4, 20,000. Tally with your answer to. एग्जाम में मत लिखना, वालियर को मत समझाना, खुद के अंडरस्टैंडिंग के लिए लिखो. टैली विथ योर आंसर टू. इज माई क्लोजिंग स्टॉक करेक्ट? दीप्ति मैम कैसे पता चलेगा कि ये जिक्सॉ पजल सही है? आ जाओ, ये रहा. क्लोजिंग स्टॉक ऑफ रॉ मटेरियल 5,000 kg. आया मैम बट 5004 के रेट से क्यों है? लिसन, 2 is purchased first, bye bye. 3 is purchased, 4 bye bye. 4 is latest purchased, thoda bye bye, thoda रुक. First in, first out. 2 तो it is purchased in first quarter, buy you have gone. 3 buy you have gone. 4 part bye bye, part remain. In this problem, we have done almost like 60% of our syllabus. I have to yet teach you labor part and the flexible budget. ठीक है, 2 की जगह 3 क्लास लगेंगे, बट समझ में आया? We are taking more time because we wrote all the formulas, no? इसीलिए टाइम लगा. Budgeting problems are, मतलब कैलकुलेशन आपको सिखाने में तो टाइम लगेगा ना. Exactly same remaining problems. Combine of contribution also and all. Anyone is having any doubt here? चलो, we'll do next problem after the break. 2-3 minutes का break ले लो. Okay. Fill in the blanks. Classes said that there are 40 formulas. Okay, they to said, but you are the intelligent and smart, no? सबकी बातें नहीं सुनना है और खुद पे बहुत सारा कॉन्फिडेंस रखना है. All the average students are also qualifying for sure. So why you will not qualify? It's only that, let me tell you one thing, dear students, all of you are committed. All of you are hardworking. Today, because of the power cut, I shifted my class from morning to evening. Still, you are attending it live. हाँ दीप्ति मैम सुबह पढ़ाए तो मैं पढ़ती, मैं तो नहीं पढ़ती शाम में, बोल सकते थे ना. You are committed, you are hardworking. Only thing is you have to become courageous, and that courage comes by consistently practicing. Just imagine those players mindset. So many millions of people seeing them, criticizing them, talking about them, judging them, still they are performing in their way. वो जैसे जैसे बोलते हैं ना, धीट बन जाना है, बस अपना बेस्ट देना है, उससे मुझे मतलब है. राइट? Okay, check your watches. We'll be there after 2 to 3 minutes. Very quick break to do one more similar kind of little lengthy problem, but अच्छा वाला. Then I'll do one for the flexible budget. तो किसी को देखना है तो देख के रखो. नेक्स्ट कौन सा प्रॉब्लम करेंगे हम? सब बड़े ही दिख रहे हैं मुझे प्रॉब्लम. यू विल बी लाइक मैम इतने बड़े बड़े प्रॉब्लम्स आते हैं क्या? This is second problem. Market very important. Marginal costing and budgeting का combo है with the limiting factor. Nice, it's very nice. And then तो it's routine. यहाँ के बाद तो पूरा problem routine. ठीक है. Second problem we'll do after the break. You can still read it till then. All right, are you all back? साथ में शुरू करें. This problem is very nice. You will learn all that I made you write in the flow. All the types of budget is covered in this, except the cash budget. Cash budget problems we will solve tomorrow. Okay, listen all of you. Second problem is a combined problem of marginal costing and budgeting. What it says, when you have to decide A, B, C, 3-4 products are there. Okay, which product you will manufacture? Okay, so you say, ma'am, obviously, jiska contribution zyada hai. What is contribution? Sales minus the variable cost will give you contribution. Higher the contribution, you go for that. Sometimes there are limiting factors. Limiting factor is raw material total 10,000 kg is only available. We have solved one problem in marginal costing like that. Or 5,000 labor hours are only there. or so like that. Labor will be limited, material will not be there, power itne hi hai, whatever. So whenever you have a limiting factor, all they or they give you sales mix. Okay, A's contribution is high, but then there is sales mix 4 is to 3 is to 3. So multiply the contribution with the limiting factor and then decide which one to manufacture how much. So the first part what I'm doing, only that can be asked for 5 marks, and that is based on the combined knowledge of marginal costing and budgeting. उसके बाद का पूरा problem is super easy. ठीक है, चलो, let me read the problem for all of you in a way you all will read. A company manufactures 3 products. The current pattern is given. You know, they gave you the pattern. What is that pattern? 8 units of 8 A you are making, BK 2 units, CK 1 unit. Selling price is given. Raw material per unit is given. Direct material, these are different kind of material. Skill, labor, hours. एक यूनिट को बनाने के लिए 4 घंटे लगते हैं. So these many units, how much? Like that. Semi-skilled labor per unit. Okay. And variable overhead per unit is given. Price of the raw material and direct material is 100, 40. Wage rate of the skilled worker is 6. Semi-skilled worker is 5. I want you to write. Did you understand this? 1 unit requires half kg. 1 kg is 100. तो कितना लगेगा? 50 rupees का raw material. Can you calculate per unit? Yeah. Here number of labor hours required, एक यूनिट को बनाने के लिए 4 घंटे, and 1 hour the rate is 6 rupees per hour. 6 and 5 per hour. So like this, if you multiply, you will get the per unit cost. Each operator works for 8 hours a day for 25 days. So 25 days into 8, that is 200. If you can get the hint, I have already solved this problem in the booster notes. Position of inventories are given to you. Raw material, direct material, ABC, opening, closing, सब दे दिया आपको. Fixed overhead is 2 lakh per month. Company desires to earn a profit of 120. Oh, you want a profit of 120? They are asking you how much should we sell. You want a profit of 120? Yeah. Fixed cost कितना है? 2 lakh. So your contribution should be 320. Ma'am, but this is the total contribution. What about mute, please, all of you. What about the contribution of each item? Is the way I'm reading the question clear? थोड़ा patiently करो, अच्छे से करो, 2 नहीं 3 class लो. बहुत अच्छे problem है, and it's a challenge. Yesterday I've seen in the evening once again, because some of you were saying, ma'am, your class is easy, but study material. कल मैंने दोनों study material देख लिए, CMA और CA का. CMA तो so many questions they have given for budgeting. You practice any one, you will get it for sure when you do this concepts properly. Okay, right. Just interpret it orally and it will be clear. See, 0.50, 1 unit requires 0.50 kg. 1 किलो का रेट कितना है? 100 rupees. 1 kg is 100 rupees. So half kg is how much? 50 rupees. 50 rupees का raw material लगेगा. चलो आ जाओ. Skilled workers. 4 skilled workers. Okay. 4 skilled workers. Skilled hours are required per unit. देखो मैं आपको फिर से बताती हूँ. ये हो गया. 1 unit requires 4 hours. ये सब मैं एक के लिए कर रही हूँ. Now 1 unit requires 4 hours. What is the rate per hour? Anyone feeling tough means you are not reading with 100% focus the question paper. 1 unit requires 4 hours. Wage rate for the skilled worker is 6 per hour. 24. यहाँ पे आ जाओ. Semi skilled मैं यहाँ कर रही हूँ. 1 unit requires 2 hours for the semi skilled workers. Each worker semi-skilled is getting 5 per hour. एक यूनिट को कितना टाइम लग रहा है आपको? 2 hours. And 5 hours, 5 rupees per hour is the rate. So एक यूनिट के लिए कितना खर्चा है? 10 rupees. Take a pause. I want raw material, direct material, labor, variable overhead, all per unit, so that I get contribution per unit. उसके बाद तो problem is super easy. Anyone still not getting calculation of problem number 8? Problem number 2. Shall we shift to the notebook? It's easy. Only thing is you have to read the question carefully. Acha, what they have asked, sorry, I missed reading. They have asked you sales, production, purchase, labor. सब तो आ गया. पूरे budget आ गया आपका. Sales, production, purchase, labor. Let us do the sales budget. Problem number 2. Computation you can write, or statement of sales budget. You are doing sales budget in units. पहले units तो बनाए हैं, फिर रुपीस भी बनाएंगे. पहले यूनिट्स को बनाए. पर्टिकुलर्स. पर्टिकुलर्स A, B, C. Okay. Let us start one by one. Put your left hand in the textbook and read it with me. First thing they have given you ready is ABIT. Selling price. Selling price आपको तैयार दे दिया है. 130, 230, 417. Less BBIT. Variable cost per unit. Variable cost per unit we will calculate. First is raw material. Raw material का rate क्या है? 100 per kg. Please see the table के नीचे पहली लाइन में दिया है 100 per kg. और यहाँ पे कितना required है? 100 into 0.5 kg. 100 into 1.2 kg. 100 rupees per kg. और एक यूनिट को बनाने के लिए 2.5 kg मटेरियल लगता है. Are you now getting it what I am doing? 50, 120 and 250. Write it very neatly, the working, so that next time you refer and you'll be able to do it. Is my speed fine? Everyone has finished writing with your left hand on the textbook. Another kind of material is the direct material, which is 40 per kg. This is a standard problem. 40 per kg. Direct material is required only in first. एक यूनिट को बनाने के लिए 0.25 kg लग रहा है और 40 per kg raw material है. तो per unit how much raw material is required? 10. Ma'am, why did you put a dash in BNC direct material? Talk like this. देखो, एक यूनिट को बनाने के लिए 0.25 kg raw material and per kg the rate is 40. So 2.5 मतलब 250 ग्राम 10 रुपए. 40 रुपए किलो टमाटर, 250 ग्राम चाहिए, 10 रुपए में मिलेंगे. अरे सिंपल टॉक, द वे यू अंडरस्टैंड. स्किल्ड लेबर. skilled labor. What's the rate for skilled labor? टेबल के नीचे से लिख लो. 6 per hour. How many hours are there? 4. 4 6 are 24. 6 6 are 36. सोचो आपके मैथ्स के स्कूल टीचर देखेंगे, आ हा हा, दिल बी सो हैप्पी. 8 6 48. बिना कैलकुलेटर के आता है आज भी. अरे क्लियर और नॉट? 1 unit require 4 hours. Each hour 6 rupees. 1 unit requires 6 hours. 6 rupees. 1 unit requires, एक यूनिट को बनाने के लिए 8 घंटे लगते हैं, 8 hours. And per hour the rate is 6. So per unit it is 48. Same way, I agree that there are too many calculations. But you are quite above this. Process costing, हाथी घोड़े निकल गए, फिर ये तो चीटी है. Semi-skilled. What is semi-skilled? Per hour rate is given below the table. 5 per hour. And now here. 2 5s are 10. 2 5s are 10. 3 5s are 15. Nice, clear. So this was material, this is labor, and then variable overhead. See, variable cost is total variable cost, material, labor, overhead. What is variable overhead? It's already given per unit. Question paper में per unit ही दिया है, copy कर लो. Per unit is 20, 40, 80. So what is the total variable cost? Total variable cost. Pick up your calculators. 50 plus 10 plus 24 plus 10 plus 20. 114. And minus this from the variable cost, you will get the contribution, C bit. What is contribution? A minus B. This is B. This is A. मिल रहा है सबको? Selling price minus the variable cost is contribution. Now 120 plus 36 plus 10. थोड़ा कैलकुलेशन फास्ट करो और मेरे साथ भी करो. 206 and 230. That's 24. Here it is 16. Third, 250 plus 48 plus 15 plus 80. 393 minus 417. 24. Anyone is having any doubt? Yes. Ma'am, can they ask the same in the marginal costing? Yeah. Ma'am, can they ask the same? It is looking like a cost sheet per unit. Yeah. Material, direct material, labor, skilled, unskilled, variable overhead, sale minus variable cost is contribution. You call it cost sheet, you call it marginal costing, जो बोलना है सब combined knowledge. Now D bit, something new I'm writing, and that is called as sales mix. You can't say, ma'am, B and C are having very good contribution, just manufacture that. But if you manufacture 8 units of A, you have to make 2 units of B and 1. 8:2:1 is the sales mix. Now, contribution per sales mix. Can you get the contribution in the ratio of sales mix? This is also called as weighted contribution. बहुत सारे books इनको weighted contribution भी बोलते हैं. 24 into 1 is 24. 48. 16 into 8 is 128. Sales mix and contribution. Sales mix. Next. Not looking good. Why do you want to change the color? Did you observe one thing? Automatically your speed has increased. हो गया ना सबका लिखना यहाँ तक? So now we know that contribution is more for B and C, but if you multiply with mix, A is giving highest contribution. Now, how many units you should sell, sales? You remember the formula? They have given the profit. They gave you the profit, they gave you the contribution. Desired contribution is equal to desired fixed cost plus profit. समझ में आ रहा है सबको? आप देखो आपका फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट दिया है आपको. After the second table, your fixed overhead is 2 lakh and the profit you want to earn is 120. So you want total or the desired contribution as 3,20,000 in the ratio of 128 is to 48 is to 24. आ जाओ. पहली बार आप कर रहे हो तो give yourself time to digest this. Of course, I'll revise the classwork when I do cash budget tomorrow. Your contribution is 120 is your profit you want to earn and your fixed cost is 2 lakh. So 320 contribution you should get, and according to that, what should be your sales? So this 320 contribution, don't take it in the ratio of 16 is to 24 is to 24. Wrong, because there's a sales mix. So 128 plus 48 plus 24. That's 200. So can I do like this? 3,20,000 into 128 by 200. 320 contribution into 48 by 200. 3,20,000 into 24 by 200. In the ratio of contribution sales mix, can you divide total contribution? Now 320 divided by 200 को memory में डालो. You have to complete the exam paper in 3 hours. 3,20,000 divided by 200 memory में डालो. कितना आया? 1,600 into 128. This is your contribution. 204800. MR into 48. MR into 24. If you get total करके देख लो 38,400 plus 76,800 plus 204800. Total करके देख लो that your total contribution should come 3,20,000. 3,20,000. Ma'am, what are we actually doing? See, I'm talking to you. Okay. All of you just listen. See, as if someone is talking to you. Anu, Anusha, Swapnil, all of you listen. What they are saying, listen, get a sales in which I will get 1,20,000 profit and my fixed cost should also be covered. Okay, ma'am, we'll get a contribution of 3,20,000 from sale. But 3,20,000 in which ratio? Because your contribution is different, your sales mix is different. So C into D is giving you E in the ratio of E. This much contribution, if you get, your profit you will reach. But for this, how many units I need to sell? Can I divide it by contribution per unit? याद है सबको? ये तो total contribution है. What is the contribution per unit? It's there up 16, 24, 24. So sales is equal to total contribution by contribution per unit. Karo. 204800 contribution you want. Per unit is 1,600. 12,800 units you sell. Your sales budget is over. Ma'am, you have made a big table. This is only the problem. यही problem मुझे करना है. इसकी जगह हम कैसे सेल्स बजट ला सकते हैं? सेल्स एट क्लोजिंग माइनस ओपनिंग इफ दे गिव यू 76,800 divide by 24, 3,200 in memory, 38,400 divide by 24, 1,600 units in memory, and 12,800 units. 17,600 units if you sell 17,600 units total, bye bye. You will earn a profit of 1,20,000 and you will also cover up your cost. There is no formula. What trick I should tell you? Tell me. For this, I hope marginal costing. Yeah, if you have missed the class of marginal costing, I can't help you. Sale minus variable cost is contribution. 3 classes we have studied. In contribution, if you minus the fixed cost, you get profit. So that's what I'm doing. They are saying 120 profit चाहिए मैम. अच्छा मैम हमारा fixed cost 2 लाख है. ठीक है. 3,20,000 contribution मिला. Variable cost and this we know. So if we know that per unit contribution is 100, you can say 3,200 units sell karo, baat khatam. That's the logic. And all this you have done in marginal costing. That's why I said it's a combined problem. If you have done very good, if not, I have made you clear. Formula वही है. You will remember, you just practice this much, go back and check in marginal costing. Desired profit plus fixed cost is equal to total contribution. Total contribution by contribution per unit gives you the break even. आ जाएगा पक्का. No problem. Oh, be aware. You will say, I'm learning. Every time I say to yourself that I'm not a CA and CMA yet, but I'll surely do whatever it takes to become a CA, CMA, whatever your degree. ऐसे ही खुद से बात करना है. हो जाएगा, कर लेंगे, आ जाएगा, मिल जाएगा. You will get it. Only this table is very crucial. Once you get this, rest of the half problem is homework. Now you can check orally with me and do it as homework. Second problem. यहाँ तक समझ में आया सबको? Did you get this sales? Once you get the sales, do you have the selling price? They have told you sales budget in quantity and value, production budget in quantity, purchase budget in quantity and value, number of workers और wages. तो अब ये 3 आपको होमवर्क करना है, बट बेस मैंने बताया आपको. देखो 12,800 units, this you have to sell. At what rate? Selling price is printed in the first line. So can you get the sales value? Yes. Now quantity, come to the quantity. Yeah, all those who are watching the live lecture can watch recorded lectures twice in the app. No extra charge. Whatever you have registered for the live batch, for the recording, for the PDF material, chapter wise exam, all is inclusive. Okay? Yeah, but validity will be 6 months from the date you purchase. Okay? And one more thing I wanted to say. What? Yeah, 1.5 time. But मैंने क्या किया, हर lecture अगर 2 hours का है तो मैंने वहां पे टाइम ही 4 घंटे कर दिया. तो twice you can watch more. ठीक है? हाँ. Now you know sales. Now in the question they have given you ready opening and closing inventory सबका. अब तो प्रॉब्लम इजी है. Closing stock you know, opening you know, so you got your production budget. Once you know the production, raw material required, just now you did know 1 unit require half page kg. So 12,600 units if you produce, how much you will require? Yeah, direct material. So this is raw material usage budget in kg. Acha, 1 kg is how much you are requiring? 14,380 kg. But you have closing stock, add opening, so this is what you have to purchase. And purchase price is given 140. In the flow you will get it correct. Same way labor. How many units you are making? 12,600, 3,400, 1,600. 1 unit requires skilled worker के 4 घंटे. So total hours required. And they are paid 6 per hour. Multiply by 6. So this is your total budget in rupees. ये आ गया एक आंसर. Same way. This is the total budget in rupees. Now, how many workers are required? So, 5,400 hours. See, 12,600 units. Each unit requires 4 hours. So, 5,400 hours. And every worker is working. आपको 200 घंटे दिया था ना क्वेश्चन में. देख लो. Every worker is working 8 hours and 25 days. मतलब 200 घंटे. आ जाओ. Yeah. 5,400 you have to make them work. Divide by 200 hours. So 250 skilled workers will be required. Till here it is skilled. Same way semi-skilled. Per unit requires 2 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours. And these many units. So these many hours. Hours, if you multiply by 5 per hour, you will get rupees. Hours, if you divide by 200 hours, you will get the hours. Over. Take your time and tell me, is the flow clear? Once you get the sales, you can get the production. Based on production, you can make the purchase and labor budget. Of course, costing is calculation. Process costing, your budgeting, these are the topics will definitely take more calculation, but not so many. I have given you. अब इसी में आपको sales budget भी पूछा है. Only this much what I did is asked for 7 marks. How many units you will sell? Khatam. You got the answer. Or sales and production budget. Done. 8 marks question. Or only raw material usage. And like this part they will divide. As good as 4-5 problems we have solved. One more problem I want to take for flexible budget. Tomorrow we will do more problems for flexible budget and the cash budget. Shall we go? Second ho gaya, third ho gaya. Second half is homework. This one is like, you can say, ma'am, same question we did in overhead. Same question we did in cost sheet. Same question we did in job cost sheet. इतना अच्छा प्रॉब्लम है, कल करेंगे. अभी एक छोटा वाला प्रॉब्लम. दिस इज सुपर प्रॉब्लम फॉर कैश बजट. अभी वी आर डूइंग दिस स्मॉल फिफ्थ प्रॉब्लम. अच्छा, व्हाट्स द फंडा फॉर द फिक्स्ड एंड फ्लेक्सिबल बजट? ओके, लिसन ऑल ऑफ यू. You know what is fixed budget? This is a theory question also. Distinguish between fixed and flexible budget. So fixed budget is, say you are operating at 60% capacity. 60% पे ही बनेगा fixed budget. Flexible budget is 60% पे you have prepared budget. Budget is nothing but your cost sheet at 60%. Instead of 60, if you decide to produce and sell 80%, yeah ma'am, वेरिएबल कॉस्ट पर यूनिट है तो वो इंक्रीज हो जाएगा. फिक्स कॉस्ट कांस्टेंट रहेगा whether you operate at 60% or 80%. Your rent, your plant and machinery depreciation all will be same. So variable cost per unit same, fixed cost total same, semi variable overhead, in that the variable part will change and fixed will remain fixed. One more concept from cost sheet I have been saying, I want to revise once. Factory overhead and administrative overhead is charged for number of units produced. Selling overhead is always charged for number of units sold. Slow and crystal clear we are going. ठीक है? If anyone has missed initial 15 minutes, can't help it, because that's where I started making you write the booster notes to get the link. पहले sale decide करो. Mindset, mind mapping. सेल के हिसाब से okay, this closing, this opening, production. Based on production, how much raw material will be used? Buy raw material for production. Some in closing, some in opening. Raw material purchase. Acha, this purchase I'll make in 3/4. Raw material purchase in rupees. Labor, overhead. Did you get one more thing, dear students? Raw material and labor and overhead, all the three depend on the production budget. That's why I said something very easy. Chances of doing silly mistake. Production budget का total एक बार अच्छे से करके देख लेना कि गलती ना हो आपसे. ठीक है? Yeah. Very easy, simple. Fifth problem we are doing. This is the last one. Then we'll close for today and continue tomorrow morning. A factory is engaged in manufacturing shirts. It is working at 40% capacity and produces 10,000 shirts. The cost break even for per shirt. Okay. Material 10, variable. Labor 3, variable. Overhead 5. 60% fixed. So when it is fixed, 40% or 100%, it's fixed only. Selling overhead. Selling price 20. It is decided to work the factory at अभी कितने परसेंट पे है 40. अब बोल रहे 50% करो. But in 50% selling price falls. At 90% the selling price falls. You are required to prepare a statement at 40, 50, 90%. ऐसे बनाना है. और हर बार आपका सेलिंग प्राइस क्या हो रहा है? कम हो रहा है. ठीक है? राइट. They have done it like this. You can do sales minus the variable cost, contribution minus the fixed cost. ऐसे भी कर सकते हैं. Fifth problem in your notebook. Don't check the way they have done. हम और अच्छे से करेंगे. Fifth problem in your notebook. Problem number 5th. Statement of flexible budget. Ma'am, why do we call it flexible budget? You're flexible. You are checking, ma'am, if I operate at 40% क्या होगा, 60% क्या होगा, 100% क्या होगा. Inquisitively, we are working out all the pros and cons. And we know, okay, if we change, what will increase, what will decrease. So, particulars, थोड़ा बड़ा, and triple column. Right now, it's working at what percent? 40%. Next, 50%. Next, 90%. Yeah, right. And then what is given to you in the question? Chalo. We should always start with sales and also the number of units. 40% pay, number of units produced and sold is 10,000. Acha, listen, flexible budget mein they'll not give you all that hodgepodge of opening and closing stock. Whatever you produce, you are selling. 40% 10,000. So 50% how much? 10,000 into 5/4. Any doubt? %, 10,000. 50% how much? 90%. 10,000 into 9 divided by 4. 22,500. अगर 90% पे ऑपरेट करते हैं तो इतने यूनिट्स आप बनाएंगे. चलो, let us take the sales. पहले selling price. At 40% the selling price is 20. Read the problem. Below the table it is given. Price will fall by 3%. at 90%, 20 का 97%. आपको समझ में आ रहा है? Read it. I'll again explain. Selling price is dropping by 3%. If they decide to work at 50%. And at 90%, it is dropping by 5%. 5% of 20 is 1. तो आपका selling price कितना हो जाएगा? 19. Sales value. Shall we give them all numbering? बहुत मजा आता है, मैं जैसे स्टेप में कर रही हूँ ना. 1 into 2. It's fun to do it like this. 1 into 2. 19.4 into 12,500. 242,500. 22,500 into 19. Sale value. Less variable cost. Material 10. Labor 3. ओवरहेड में दोनों है. Overhead variable we will take. Overhead variable is 5 into 40%. That is 2 rupees. Anyone in the class is having doubt? 5 का 60% fixed है तो variable कितना होगा? 40%. 5 4s are 20 to 2. Now simply multiply and get your variable overhead. Are you all with me? सीधा सीधा बहुत easy problem है. Just multiply by 10. Okay. अभी खुश हो गए. मैम इतना easy आएगा? Yes. Flexible budget every time comes for 7 marks and repeated problem. हाँ. 10,000 into 10. 1 lakh. 30,000, 20,000. Are you getting? Yes. ये क्वेश्चन बहुत अच्छा है. Seriously. 1,25,000. 12,500 into 3. 30 more flexible budget problems we'll do tomorrow. And 25,000. Hmm. 22,500. All right, there's a small twist in the question. 1 second, huh? 1 second. हाँ, देखो. It is decided that the work of the factory at 50%, the selling price will fall by 3%, and 90% capacity by 5%, accompanied by similar fall in the price of material. So material के price में भी 3% or 5% down करना पड़ेगा. That we didn't take. आ जाओ. 3%. No problem. You can write 1,25,000 का 97%. Everyone is clear why 1,25,000 का 97%? क्योंकि प्राइस चेंज हुआ है. Same way here, 5%. 22,500 into 10 into 95%. Price is reduced, raw material. 22,500 into 10 into 95% directly I am taking, because the price is reduced. You can write the working. Labor is 3. 22,500 into 3. Please change these two figures. Variable overhead is 2. Total variable cost is 1,50,000. And the middle one is 121,250 material plus 37,500 labor plus 25,000. Easy. किसी को लग रहा है हम जॉब बैच कॉस्ट शीट कर रहे हैं तो वही से. Sales minus the variable cost you can write as contribution. Then we'll get the fixed cost. It looks good. You can take directly the fixed cost also. Yeah. So where I was in the step 3 minus 4, 50,000. 58,750. मिल रहा है आपको सेल्स वैल्यू? सेल वैल्यू मिला? या 427,500 minus variable cost 326,250. If you see this time CMA exam question तो ऐसे ही आया है. CA exam में same with one twist in the fixed overhead. Flexible budget के problem scoring है, जरूर करना एग्जाम में. Selling price minus the variable cost, you all got contribution. Now we'll do the fixed cost. Fixed cost था ना आपका? कितना था? 10,000 shirts पे 5 का 60%. 5 6 are 30. 5 into 60%, that is 3 per unit. And that is 10,000 unit. Now this you have to take like this. Ma'am, number of units are gone into dustbin. Whether you operate at 40%, 50%, 100%, your fixed cost is constant. Now what you get, you call it as profit. 4 minus 5. 20,000. 28,750. 71,250. बोलो. Sales minus variable cost is contribution minus fixed cost. I am doing. You can also do like variable cost, fixed cost, total cost. प्रॉफिट और नीचे सेल्स. फ्लेक्सिबल बजट ऐसे ही बनता है. The gist of the flexible budget is variable cost is fixed per unit. Fixed cost is constant total like 30,000. And it's not there, but they can give you semi-variable overhead that you know a part of it is fixed. Just want to check ना, I'll do it in class. But ऐसे ही problem रहते हैं देखो आपके flexible budget. Yeah, maximum either flexible budget is asked or raw material. ये भी flexible budget है. ये तो कॉपी पे सेम प्रॉब्लम यू हैव डन. ये देखो 55, 65, 75. Profit as a percentage on sales. हाँ, material will increase, labor, that you all know. If they say increase by 8, take it 108%, 105%, like that. हाँ, prepare it at 85%. मैम ये अब भी कर लेंगे. इस पे इतना है ना, इस पे 85 पे कितना. But I want to do it because students are making the table very correctly, and based on that they are doing good. But you are supposed to write this. इतने टेक्निकल वे में नहीं, बट एक्सप्लेनेशन तो लिखना पड़ेगा. ठीक है. So we will do in class. Only homework for today is go through the booster notes, okay, and go through the material problem which we did in class. Contribution के रेशो में सेल्स मिक्स को मल्टीप्लाई किए. ओके. 2 minutes. I know we are very late and you all are so sweet to wait till here. But यहाँ पे एक और चीज लिखो. Just go back to all your booster notes what you have written. You remember? Sales budget. These are all functional budgets. Raw material, labor, and 11th वाला collection from data का भी मैंने example बताया था. Right. Contribution, sales, mix. Use for decision. Use for decision. Contribution per unit multiplied by sales mix. Contribution per unit multiplied by sales mix. Clear to all of you? ये हमने देखा ना आज एक प्रॉब्लम है. So target for tomorrow is some more problem for the raw material budget, one more problem for flexible budget, and we'll do one cash budget collection from data as how I taught you. If you revise this, you will do faster. कल ना आप बोलोगे मैम आप अभी भी कैलकुलेट कर रहे हो. This is a common feedback that when I'm explaining slowly, now you are following because I'm going very slow. Tomorrow, because now you understand, you will try to do it fast. See how you are driving your vehicle. It's not that now you are driving double the speed, but now you're very confident and very calm. Otherwise, पहले दिन अच्छा steering भी संभालना है, gear भी, clutch भी, तो so many things we have to take care. We say अरे बात मत कर. अब तो म्यूजिक भी चल रहा है, गाड़ी भी चल रही है. That's how the flow comes. And definitely, I don't want you to miss out the theory question. Take low in choice if you want to leave your wish, but still check it. What I want you to check is zero budgeting and performance budgeting. That we'll do in tomorrow's class. And let us close our class with 21 days. How is it? Very few of you have given the feedback that are you doing this challenge? This is going to build up every day. It is going to help you to make a solid, strong mindset. You are bigger than your environment. No one can distract you from your goals. So for that, activity 8 is build patience with awareness. Ma'am, ये क्या चीज का नाम है? I'm just writing here T20. Literally, once they got the award and each one was speaking for 2-3 minutes, so that you go back and listen to that. You can watch it anywhere. जहाँ available है, Netflix पे है और YouTube में जहाँ है देखो. I don't remember, but one of the player clearly said that we know the total overs, we know that how many runs we have to make, but right now this over, this is my target. This same way, you all students know that we have to prepare 4 subjects. Ma'am, DT, IDT, custom for CMA, for CA students DTA कितना vast है. फिर law है, फिर अकाउंट्स है, फिर कॉस्टिंग है, ठीक है, you know it. But right now you are in costing and you are not in EOQ. That's over. Right now you are in budgeting. What you study, you do properly. Homework you do with stopwatch. Write chapter wise exam. You'll go fearless, I can say, for tax and accounts. So develop that over the period with awareness. Okay, it's very common to get angry, to react, एंड इट हैपेंस. इट्स नॉट कि दीप्ति मैम कोई फुल प्रूफ बने हैं, हमको भी गुस्सा आता है, हम भी कभी रिएक्ट करते हैं. बट द थिंग इज हाउ फास्ट यू कैन कम बैक टू योर नॉर्मल. सेव योर टाइम, सेव योर माइंड. मेरा काम नहीं है. सेव योर माइंड एट ऑल द कॉस्ट. डोंट गेट बॉगल्ड बाय व्हाट पीपल आर टॉकिंग अराउंड यू. इसने बोला अरे ये तो बड़ा पास फेल, इसने बोला, इसने बोला अपने लॉजिक से. यू नो. ओके. Now you'll say, ma'am, then Dipti ma'am, why we should listen to you? If you trust that I'm saying this with some solid base of 2 decades experience, trust and take it. Develop the patience with awareness and habit. हाँ मैम, आपने बोला 2 बार गुस्सा नहीं किया, तीसरी बार तो आ गया. अरे आया, बट इंटेंसिटी पहले से कम थी. हाँ मैम आया, पर पहले पूरा दिन रोते थे, अभी 1 घंटा रोई क्योंकि टाइम नहीं है हमारे पास रोने और वेस्ट करने के लिए. So the thing I want to say is, with awareness, if you can just take small baby steps, it will add on to a strong, solid, strong mindset for your exam. We have done very different exercises. Somewhere I've asked you to write anything. This is now for you to feel, be aware, and build up the. Just imagine how much some of the players were criticized in IPL, this, that, and then so many millions of viewers watching, and they are playing live. It's not easy, but they could do it because of that mindset. Do you think it was only cricket? Of course it was cricket. Cricket ही तो खेल रहे थे, बट उसके साथ उनका माइंडसेट कितना इंपॉर्टेंट था. वैसा ही है. यू ऑल आर हार्ड वर्किंग, यू आर नॉलेजेबल, यू नो द आंसर. फिर मैं ब्लैंक हो गया, मेरा पेन ही नहीं चल रहा था, मेरा ये वो. ये क्यों होता है? क्योंकि माइंडसेट सॉलिड स्ट्रांग नहीं है. और वो कोई मंत्रा किसी ने ब्लेस कर दिया, अभी तुम्हारा माइंडसेट स्ट्रांग. ऐसे नहीं होगा. दैट विल बी बिल्ट ओवर द पीरियड. ओके. थैंक यू सो मच. Really appreciate from the bottom of my heart each one of you's contribution for being live. It's almost like 8:45 p.m. Thank you. Thank you. See you all tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll continue in the morning, right? Bye-bye all of you. Bye. अच्छे से खाना खाओ, फैमिली के साथ टाइम स्पेंड करो, क्वालिटी गुड टाइम, एंड देन गेट बैक टू योर वर्क. सो मेनी टाइम्स फॉरगेट अबाउट अदर्स. वी नीड टू एक्सप्लेन टू आवर फैमिली मेंबर्स. अब बाहर वालों के सामने तो धीट हो जाएंगे, घर वालों के सामने नहीं हो सकते. तो कभी प्यार से बैठ के समझा दो. आई एम ऑल्सो मॉम फर्स्ट, एंड देन मैम, माई सन इज ऑल्सो 22 years. So literally you can sit and calm down. See, these are professional studies. There's different way. I'll study, you just bless me. You just pray for me that I have outperformed in my exam, mom. Rest, I will take care. ठीक है? Thank you so much. Bye bye, all of you. Bye.